Hello everyone. This is the full basis guide for BBMA strategy. There are timestamps, so feel free to skip around. And you can also find the link to the written notes and screenshots down below. We'll talk about how to set up the indicator, how each component works, the cycle of BBMA, reentries, multi-timeframe and codes, results and refinements. So first, how to set up the indicator. This is a trading view. It's very simple. I just use this. Now for the MetaTrader, these are the settings. BBMA is a system and indicator made of different components. First, it consists of Bollinger Bands, top BB, middle BB, and low BB. MA 5, 10. These are the ones above, so MA high 5 and 10. These are the ones below, so MA low 5 and 10. Exponential moving average, EMA 50. And this is what it looks like after setting everything up. Now let's talk about how each component works. First, we have Bollinger Bands. If the Bollinger Band is going sideways, it means the market is raging. It's called sideways BB. If the top BB and low BB are pointing away from each other or expanding, it means the market is continuing with a great momentum. So it's called momentum BB. For MAH 5 and 10, we use it as a place to find our setups and enter. So on MAH or MA high 5 and 10, we find our sell setups. On MA low 5 and 10, we find our buy setups. Then we have EMA 50. EMA 50 tells us the overall trend of the market. Middle BB below the EMA 50 means the market is going downtrend. And the middle BB above the EMA 50, it means the market is going uptrend. Now the cycle of BBMA. When you see the cycle, it means a trend reversal is coming. Now this is the cycle. Extreme, TP Wajib or mandatory TP, MHV or MLV, CSAK or CSD, and CSM. Now what do these actually mean, okay? So let's start from extreme. One MA5 gets outside of the Bollinger Band, which is either top BB or low BB, it's called extreme. Now I personally don't enter the extreme setups, but if you enter a buy here, it's recommended to target the MA5 10. Because after extreme, that is where the price is likely to go before continuing its downtrend. Then we see a sign called MLV or MHV, which means the price is unable to break through the Bollinger Bands and continue the trend. After that, we have CSAK or CSD, which closes beyond the MA 510 and middle BB. This is kind of a confirmation that says the direction is going to shift. We will look to enter from the re-entry area here. Then there's CSM. The CSM tells us that the direction is going to continue. Similar to CSAK, this is the re-entry area on the MA 510. Now there are some variations to each element. There are three extremes: Extreme A, Extreme B, and Advanced Extreme. Extreme A is when MA5 gets outside of the top BB or low BB. Extreme B is when a candle is rejected on the top BB or low BB. It's mostly used as a time frame to code. Now Advanced Extreme. Advanced Extreme is when the price is rejected by the EMA 50. This is also mostly used for time frame to code. And Magic Extreme is when both MA 5 and 10 gets outside of the top BB or low BB. There are also different CSAs in BBMA. Like I explained earlier, CSAK or CSD is when the price closes beyond the MA 510 and middle BB. But CSA is a bit aggressive. We don't wait for the price to close beyond the middle BB. We only wait for it to close beyond the MA 5 and 10. That is what CSA is. And as you can see here, CSA reentry, CSAK reentry, CSM reentry, and another CSM reentry. CSA can also be used for continuation setups after CSAK and CSM. So here CSAK reentry, and then for continuation CSA and reentry. And similarly, CSM reentry, CSA reentry, and another CSM reentry. Now let's talk about multi-timeframe and codes. Creating BBMA setups, we use 3 timeframes: timeframe 1, timeframe 2, and timeframe 3. If you see the setup on H1, that becomes your timeframe 1. So timeframe 2 is 15 minutes and timeframe 3 is 5 minutes. And the codes are REN, RRE, and REE. I don't use RRE, so I'll just focus on the other 2. On the first time frame, we check the reentry areas like moving averages after CSAK, CSA, or CSM. On the second time frame, we check which extreme is forming. Is it extreme A or extreme B, or advanced extreme or magic extreme? On the third time frame, we check if it is extreme again or MLV. And for final confirmation, you can use CSAK or the aggressive way CSA. So this is an example for REM, for GJ. The setup is an H4, so H4 is the timeframe 1, H1 is the timeframe 2, and 15 minutes is the timeframe 3. And you can see after CSAK, the price tapped the reentry areas like moving averages. And after tapping the moving averages or reentry area, you go to timeframe 2. And on timeframe 2, you can see that extreme B is forming. And I personally wait for the candle to close. And on timeframe 3, you can see there's an extreme and MLV, and the price closes above the moving averages. So you can enter on the CSA, or I personally wait for the CSAK. And that's how you get the REM trade. And this is a win, by the way, it's the 3R. So here is another example for REE. Fairly simple, just like REM. So after the setup is on H1, so timeframe 1 is H1, timeframe 2 is 15 minutes, and timeframe 3 is 5 minutes. So after CSM, the price tapped the reentry area. And after tapping the reentry area, go to timeframe 2, which is 15 minutes. And you can see that there is an extreme B and advanced extreme. And again, I personally wait for the candle to close. And then on timeframe 3, 5 minutes, you can see that there is an extreme A, and the price closes beyond the moving averages and middle BB. So that becomes your CSAK. And as you notice, there is no MLV in this trade. There is reentry, there is extreme, and there is another extreme on timeframe 3. So that becomes your REE. And then you can just put a stop order after the CSAK. And that's how I got this REE trade. So this is about results and refinements. Something you should know when refining a strategy is you won't always win. Sometimes you will win because of the refinements, and sometimes you will lose or miss because of that. But overall, in the long term, if it drastically reduces the losses and makes the strategy a lot more consistent, I personally don't mind missing the winning trades. But it depends on you. So these are some of the results I got from my own testing. It could be different from other people, but this is just from my own testing. So these are the results if you take every trade blindly without any proper refinement and testing. And as you can see, it looks really bad. So these are the results when I filter out low probability trades like session timings, managing the trades based on high volatile news, and just generally the worst setups that show little to no sign of probability in history. Then this is what the results look like after all the refinements I made, and also a trade management rule based on my own testing. There are some BEs that could have been wins, but as you can see, it drastically reduces a lot of losses and make the system a lot more consistent. So I'm more than happy to miss the wins because it still makes a very good return. Okay guys, this concludes my BBMA full guide series. If you have questions, write them in the comments or on Telegram. Please check out the links if you want to be connected. I do have plans to make videos consistently, so I really hope to see you again.